Hello again and welcome to Origami Expressions. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this, my version of the Olympic rings. Any paper will do as long as you've got the 5 colours that make up the Olympic rings. Because all 5 rings are folded exactly the same, I'm going to show you how to make one, then I'm going to assume you folded the other 4 and show you how to put them together into the Olympic logo. So if you're ready, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is to prepare our paper. Now for this model we need 1 strip of paper per ring. So we're going to start by cutting up this square of paper into quarters so that we get 1 long strip of paper. So if we start by folding the piece of paper in half, be as accurate as you can because obviously you do want a nice shaped rectangle to fold this model from. And then unfold again and fold the edge to the center line like that. Now we're only interested in this strip of paper. So we can go ahead, get a pair of scissors. It's not often you see a pair of scissors in origami, but all we're doing is preparing the paper for us to use at this stage. So we can go ahead and cut that strip out. Like that. Now when we've got our strip of paper, we need to divide this into thirds. Now the easiest way of dividing a piece of paper into thirds is to do it actually and then kind of jiggle it as you go along. So if you fold it over roughly into thirds like that, and then you can just adjust it so that the 2 ends meet up with the fold lines as you go. It takes a little bit of jiggery pokery and a little bit of adjustment, but you will end up with something like that, which you can then unfold, and there you have it. We've divided the piece of paper into thirds. Now each one of those thirds needs to be divided into thirds again. So the easiest way of doing that is to divide 1/3 into thirds and then kind of pleat it like you would a fan to replicate that on the rest of the paper. So we'll take this end piece here, this final third, and we'll do the same thing again, lining up the edges with the fold to make thirds, like that. Okay? So now if we fold those thirds up, turn the paper over and fold it so that it lines up with the fold that you had just made, like that. Turn the paper over again and take this edge to the fold there that you've already got and make that a good strong crease. Then you can turn it round and fold this edge over so that it lines up with the folded edge underneath. Like that. And finally take this edge to the folded edge there. And line that up. Nice firm creases all the way through, and if you unfold it you can see we have now divided the paper into 9ths. We actually need 1/18ths, so we're going to divide each one of these sections in half. So take the first section and bring the raw edge there to the fold, like that. Then you can do exactly the same process as we did a minute ago and just divide all those in half. So you can bring this edge again here to this fold line here. So show that that's this edge to this fold line to divide the next section in half, like that. And then if you turn the paper over, you can bring this edge here to this edge here, which creates another half. And we can keep doing that all the way down. He says, just apologising for my terrible inaccuracy in my folding. So I should just go ahead and do that. Let's line that up rather better. So fold each of these sections in half, like this. Fairly straightforward. Try and keep them reasonably accurate, probably more accurately than I've done here actually, which is not very good, but never mind, we can run with it. It's a reasonably forgiving model, so don't panic too much if it's not perfect, but obviously we want to try and get it as good as we can. So that's all of those sections folded, you see. So then we can unfold that all the way along. Okay. Now fold the piece of paper in half lengthways. So take this edge here and fold it to this edge here. There we go. Unfold it and fold the two edges to the center line. So let's do this one first. Turn it round, do the same again. Like that. Now, if your folding is reasonably accurate, all of those fold lines should line up with each other. Mine do roughly. It's good enough. So then we'll fold the whole thing in half. Okay. Now we need to find the center line. So if you just fold the thing in half like that, all we're trying to do is to find that center fold there. So just so you know which one it is. So let's fold it there and then I'll fold it again. So now I can see the center line is this one here, the center fold. Okay, now we're going to need to allow two squares, 1, 2, from the center line, and the third square fold down at a right angle through that square. Like that. As good a right angle as you can get it, and a nice firm crease. So you can see there's the center fold, 1 square, 2 square, and the third square over I have folded down. So there's the center line, 1 square, 2 square, and there's the third one I folded down. Unfold that, and you're going to do an outside reverse fold. So we just open it up and pop it and fold it down as an outside reverse fold on both sides like that. Okay, so I'll bring that close to the camera so you can see. See, it's the same on both sides. So I shall show you that again if I unfold that. There's the strip, there's the little diagonal crease. So unfold it, pop it round and fold it back down that side. Okay. Now, as we carry on down here, allow 3 squares and fold a diagonal across that way again. So 1, 2, 3. Here's the 4th square. So 1, 2, 3. The 4th square, fold that in another right angle. Like that. Okay, so can you see? 1 square, 2 square, 3 squares, and another right angle. I'm just going to make that better. More right angle crease there. So now we're going to do exactly the same as we did a minute ago. Unfold that. Put your finger on the inside. Oh, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to use an inside reverse fold, I beg your pardon. So put your finger on the inside that way. Push in there. And do an inside reverse fold. I do apologise. Okay. So, now we go back to the other side. So, can you remember that centre line that we had here? So we did 2 squares and then folded the triangle. So we're going to go 1 square this side of the centre line that time. So there's the centre line. I'm going to go 1 square, and that following square I'm going to fold it down at another right angle. Like that. Very straightforward. And then this should come as no surprise. We unfold it, and we're going to do an outside reverse fold. Exactly the same as we did here, we'll do repeating on this side. So put your finger in there, kind of pop the paper around and refold it along that diagonal crease through that square. And just tidy the paper up on that side. So you should have this now. And it shouldn't come as any great surprise to anybody that we're going to allow 3 squares down this side, and the 4th square we're going to fold across this way, so it should overlap. So 1, 2, 3, there's the 4th square, and I'm going to fold it across there, like that. Unfold and push your finger on the inside, push it in and do an inside reverse fold. Might need a bit of encouragement to get that bit to work, but there we go. Now you can see that we've folded 1 ring. You can see that it overlaps, which is exactly what we want when it comes to joining all the rings together. So you can see there is this overlap here. So, and you can see the ring shape. So what you might want to do is just reinforce all those creases a bit. Try and make it just, if some of them aren't quite right and just need to be readjusted slightly so that they end up, so the thing ends up as a nice even shape, then go ahead and do that. When you've done that, that is 1 Olympic ring folded. So all you need to do now is fold 4 more in 4 different colours, the colours remaining on the Olympic rings. When you've got those 5 rings all folded, then we can put the thing together. Okay, so when you've folded all 5 rings in the colours of the Olympic logo, you're going to want to attach them all together. Now, if you look at this picture of the official Olympic logo, you can see that the rings link together in a very specific way. Ooh, let's just turn itself upside down. Let's just turn that round. You can see that, for instance, if we look at these blue and yellow rings, then it goes over the top of the blue ring at the bottom, but underneath the blue ring at the top. So we need to try and get that as accurate as we can in the Olympic rings that we're folding. So let's start with the blue one and the yellow one. I'm going to put that just there so I can make sure I get this right. If you take your blue ring and your yellow ring, the first 2 are quite easy because you can see that you've only got 2 rings in your hand. So let's put the yellow ring over the top of the blue ring at the bottom and through underneath the blue ring at the top, like that. That's got those 2 rings linked in the way that we're going to want to have them. All we need to do now is to tuck the 2 ends of the blue ring together. Now you want to try and tuck in the short edge of the blue ring. Can we see that? That short edge there inside the longer edge, because then that way that will hide the join nice and carefully. Now if you open up the long edge, you can see that there is these two flaps here, and open up the short edge, there's the same thing. So if we tuck the short edge inside there and push that all the way down like that, let's bring that close to the camera, you can push that all the way down, that will go right up to the edge of the join. Then you can just squash those two together. When you lay that down again, you can see that we have the blue ring and the yellow ring linked in the way that we need. Now going back to the logo, we can see that the yellow ring overlaps the black ring at the top but goes underneath the black ring at the bottom. So that's what we need to try and replicate here. So we'll take the black ring next, and we'll put that so that it goes over, the yellow ring goes over the top of the black one at the bottom there, but goes behind like that. So that links the two together in the correct way. So then all we need to do is much the same as we did with the blue one. You tuck the small edge of the yellow one, that small edge there, inside this longer edge there. So again, we can open up the longer edge, find the little flaps, those two flaps in there we can see, and tuck the short edge inside those two flaps there. Bit of persuasion, it will go like that, and push the two ends together, encouraging them to go all the way up to the join and push it together again. So now we're starting to get some rings that are all linked together. A little bit higgledy-piggledy, but you get the idea. So the next one we need to deal with is the black one and the green one. Now the green one goes over the top of the black one at the bottom, but underneath there, so we need to tuck that, let's use it that way around, in through the black ring like that. And then again we join the two ends of the black ring together. So we take the short edge of the black ring, we tuck it inside those two flaps on the longer edge, and a bit of encouragement and wiggling, it will go. Lost my rings now. There they are. Push those two together like that, and arrange the rings again the way that we need them. So that's there, and there, and there. And then finally, the green one goes over the top of the red one. I do apologise, lost my rings again. Goes over the top of the red one at the top and behind it underneath. So through there like that. Like that. And then join the two ends of the green ring together. Exactly the same. You take the short edge and tuck it inside the long edge. Sometimes it needs a bit of careful encouragement. Oh, I've done it the wrong way around. I have done it the wrong way around. You take the short edge and put it inside the long edge. Now the reason why you want to do that and not the other way around is if you tuck the long edge inside the short edge, you'll be able to see the join halfway along one edge, and you don't really want that. You want to keep it as nice and uniform as possible. So that's tucked the green ring together. Finish off the red one. So you take the short edge, open it up, and tuck it inside the two flaps on the long edge. And this one's a little tighter, but we'll make it go. There we go. Push that together. And all your rings are now joined together in a long chain. Then it's just a question of arranging the rings how you want them. So let's do it so that you can set the right way up for you. So there, 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 and there. Now you can see that, as on the Olympic logo, the only rings that are joined together are where they're actually linked. So the blue ring and the black ring don't touch, the black ring and the red ring don't touch, and the yellow ring and the green ring don't touch. That's essentially the model completed. Now you can see that they do kind of wobble around a bit, and they don't necessarily lie particularly flat. So the easiest way of dealing with that, frankly, is to put all these rings, this model of the Olympic logo, inside of a very large book with some more books on top of it, and weigh it down overnight. At that point, the model will be completely flat. What you could do, of course, if you want to make sure that actually these rings stay like that and they present well, is either stick them down or blue tack them down to a piece of paper. Yes, I know that you're not generally supposed to use anything other than folding in origami, but I won't tell if you don't. And there you have it, your very own origami Olympic rings. Well, I hope you were able to follow along and you enjoyed folding that. If you did like it, then please do check out my blog, origamiexpressions.com, my YouTube channel, Instagram or Twitter, for more things that you might like to fold, or some more difficult and complex stuff that you might find inspiring. You'll find the information coming up on your screen in just a minute. Thanks for watching.